Hi, you're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's get straight to it. A lot of updates coming in from Tamil Nadu, especially Chennai. A heavy downpour in Tamil Nadu has led to waterlogging in its capital in Chennai. Schools and colleges have been shut in Chennai and 22 other districts for 2 days. Now, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said that Chennai received over 20 centimeter of rainfall. 10 districts, including Crore, Tiruvallur, Namakkal, Padukottai, have received heavy rain. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Monday also visited rain affected areas in Chennai for the second day and helped out with the relief measures as well. In Chennai, the civic body on Monday distributed 3.36 lakh food packets for breakfast and lunch in the flood affected regions out of the common kitchen set up in 15 zones. While four national disaster response teams have been deployed in Madurai, Chengalpet, and Tiruvallur for rescue work. State disaster response force teams have been sent to Tanjavur and Cuddalore districts. Meanwhile, according to India Today, the director of meteorological department, Puviyarasan, said that Chennai has received 43% excess rainfall and very heavy showers are expected on the 10th of November and 11th of November as well. He explained that low pressure is likely to form on the Southeast Bay by Tuesday, which could intensify into a depression on the 10th of November. Meanwhile, according to the Indian Express, police in Tripura have invoked anti-terrorism law against 102 social media handles and have also served notices on US-based internet companies seeking detailed information on the owners of these accounts. Now, speaking to the Hindustan Times, Jyotishman Das Chowdhury, a public relations officer of Tripura Police, has said, and I quote, Tripura Police have taken up a case against a total of 102 Twitter accounts under UAPA for spreading fake and distorted information related to the recent violence that took place at Panisagar, North Tripura, end quote. Earlier this month, 6 persons were arrested by the state police in connection with various incidents of communal violence in the state, and several people were booked for spreading rumors to create hatred between two religious groups in the state. Meanwhile, the Indian Express reported that the police have also asked Twitter for information on the users or administrators of these accounts who they claimed had posted fake or fabricated photos and statements online that had, and I quote, potential to flare up communal tension, end quote. The Editors Guild, in the meantime, has put out a statement and said that it was shocked by the action initiated against people who were reporting and writing on the recent communal violence in the state. They also alleged that the move was an attempt by the state government to deflect attention away from its failure to contain majoritarian violence. And some worrying news in an RTI reply, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has said that over 33 lakh children in India are malnourished. Out of these, over 17 lakh are severely acute malnourished children, and over 15 lakh are moderately acute malnourished children. According to states, Maharashtra has the highest number of severely acute malnourished children at over 6 lakh. It's followed by Bihar and Gujarat at 4 lakh and 3 lakh, respectively. One of the major reasons for this is that midday meals were not provided during the lockdown as schools were shut. Also, suicides among tradesmen increased by 50% in 2020 when compared to 2019, according to the latest data that's been released by the NCRB. As many as 11,716 businessmen died by suicide in 2020, compared to 10,677 farmers in the same year. Now, out of 11,000 deaths, 4,356 were those of tradesmen and 4,226 were of vendors, while the rest being accounted for in the category of other businesses. Also in the news, 10 more people have tested positive for Zika virus in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur, taking the total tally to 89. The first case of the virus was reported in the city on the 23rd of October when a warrant officer of the IAF tested positive for the infection. Now, health officials have been asked to step up surveillance and ensure door-to-door sampling and testing of Zika virus. As a majority of the cases include IAF officials, a high alert has been sounded in the periphery of the hangars of the IF station as well. Zika virus cases, remember, were reported in Kerala in July and August this year. And the state government had announced that the spread of the infection is now under control. The virus is transmitted by mosquitoes, which typically causes asymptomatic or mild infection like fever and rash in humans. An update now in the Lakhimpur Kheri case. The Supreme Court today has expressed its disappointment over a status report filed by the Uttar Pradesh government on this incident, which took place on the 8th of October, wherein 8 people, including 4 farmers, were killed. Now, the bench said that the investigation is, and I quote, not going the way we expected, end quote. The bench expressed dissatisfaction at the fact that the forensic lab reports regarding the video evidence has not yet come, and that the mobile phones of all accused have not been seized. Now, the bench also expressed concerns about the case against the prime accused in the case relating to attack on farmers being diluted by clubbing that investigation with the counter case of mob lynching. Now, the bench observed that the investigation in both the cases must be separate. The bench also stating that it's not confident regarding the process adopted by the Uttar Pradesh SIT to record the evidence said, and I quote, we are inclined to appoint a judge from a different high court to monitor day-to-day investigation till the charge sheet is filed, end quote. The matter will be heard next on Friday. Meanwhile, according to PTI, French investigative journal Mediapart has made fresh claims that alleged bogus invoices were used that enabled French aircraft maker Dassault Aviation to pay at least 7.5 million euros in secret commissions to a middleman to help it secure the Rafale deal in India. Now, Mediapart had reported in July that a French judge has been appointed to lead a highly sensitive judicial investigation into suspected corruption and favoritism in the 59,000 crore rupee intergovernmental deal with India for the supply of 36 Rafale fighter jets. In its news report, the journal said, and I quote, Mediapart is today publishing the alleged false invoices that enabled French aircraft manufacturer Dassault Aviation to pay at least 7.5 million euros in secret commissions to a middleman to help secure the sale of 36 Rafale fighter aircrafts to India, end quote. It also alleged that despite the existence of these documents, the Indian probe agencies decided not to pursue the matter. According to the PTI report, there was no reaction yet on the latest report from the Defense Ministry or Dassault Aviation. An update now on COVID numbers. India has reported 11,451 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. Kerala has reported 5,404 new COVID cases. Also, the Union Health Ministry has placed a purchase order of 1 crore doses of Zydus Cadila's 3-dose COVID vaccine at 265 rupees per dose. Now, it is world's first DNA-based vaccine. Now, the second and third doses should be given on day 28 and 56th, respectively. According to NDTV, the cost of 1 dose will be 265 rupees. On to business news now. The 18,300 crore rupee IPO of Paytm was subscribed 18% on the 8th of November, the first day of bidding, receiving bids of 88.21 lakh equity shares against offer price size of 4.83 crore shares. Now, the portion set aside for retail investors was subscribed 78%, while the reserved portion of non-institutional investors was subscribed 2%. Let's also take a look at what else is making news across the world. The US announced that it will allow vaccinated travelers from the 8th of November and has also added Bharat Biotech's Covaxin to that list. Now, this comes after the WHO had approved Covaxin for emergency usage listing. Meanwhile, Iraqi Prime Minister has said that he escaped unhurt after a drone attack on his home inside Baghdad's high-security green zone. Now, a drone laden with explosives struck the building, injuring 6 of his bodyguards in an apparent assassination attempt. The attack, which comes after violent unrest after recent election results, was condemned by both the US and Iran. Also, Germany has been witnessing a surge in COVID cases, and the health minister has dubbed it as, and I quote, the pandemic of the unvaccinated, end quote. The 7-day incidence rate, the number of people per 1 lakh to be infected over the last week, rose to 201.1, higher than the previous record of 197.6 in December last year. And before we wrap up, we leave you with one piece of good news. Maharashtra has backed the Inspiring Regional Leadership Award from Under 2 Coalition for Climate Change and became the only Indian state to win one of the three awards by U2 in Scotland. Maharashtra's Environment Minister Aditya Thackeray received the award on behalf of the state. That's a wrap on this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching.